Hey viewers, this video is to demonstrate how to fix a vehicle that may be having an ignition issue. It's not going to fix every ignition issue, but I can kind of give you an example of what was going on with mine. I had recently came across a 97 D21 or a hardbody, the last year of the hardbodies. And what was going on was that I could remove my key driving down the road, or I could start the truck with any key. So I was reading on forums and things like that, and I was thinking that maybe my key was too worn out, which obviously it is from looking at it here. But if I was to get a key rekeyed from this or anything like that, it still wouldn't fix the fact that somewhere in the barrel for the key and the ignition cylinder, it's frozen in the open position. A lot of people say that that could be from the fact that you have too much weight on your keys, wearing all that out, or improper maintenance on keeping it lubed up and clean could keep them in the open position. So I went ahead and bought a whole new one. So it's the ignition lock cylinder for a 97 Nissan hardbody. Here's your part number. This is from Rock Auto. It cost me about $99. It is for a manual transmission vehicle, so it was fairly cheaper than for an automatic, because I think they're pushing closer to $200 for those. So make sure you get the right one. I think this fits a 96 and a 97. They're the same. And what I ended up having to get was this piece right here. This is what you're going to be working with. This is the old one, of course. So what I ended up doing was I disconnected the negative side terminal of the battery, since I'm messing with electrical components here, plug and place. And then I started to work on it by removing 4 screws. They're Phillips head screws on the steering wheel cover or shroud. And once you take those off, there's 2 in the front and then 2 located on the rear. Just back those out and take the whole cover off. Then this will be exposed like this here. So what you need to do is you need to move the lever to where you can put the steering wheel in the highest position possible. That way you can get under it and look at it fairly easily to do work. So now we're going to look at it as if I was from the underside. So go ahead and disconnect your 2 electrical connectors. Just to kind of remember where they go and how they're routed. How they're routed is probably the more important part, because you can't really mess up where these plug into under there. So when you do that, you'll see this will be a blank. Essentially what it is this is a shear bolt. So from the factory, they put these in, and right here at the wedge, once it hits a certain break point, these will pop off. So there's torque specs on these. It's not very much, to be honest with you, because I just put one on and barely turned it and it broke off. So these are in there without too much pressure on them, so you can back them out real easy with this. So what you're gonna do there is go ahead and I take a Dremel. A lot of people online say to take a punch and come in at an angle to where you can kind of back it out as you go. So you're going to be punching it in a reverse motion, and then you take the punch and move it out. I didn't have the time to mess with all that, so I just got my Dremel and took the discs and made 2 slots on each side. Since this is junk now, I'm not going to reuse any of these pieces because it comes with the brand new ones. This way I could get my Phillips head screwdriver in there and then back them out. It did say online that this doesn't come with hardware, so I did go to the Nissan dealership to get the shear bolt, and they did have them on hand. Little did I know that the guy said in the parts department that they still use this same setup on the newer Nissan Altimas and the Maximas, I believe so. 2 of these were $6, but these are spares now, because luckily when I got the new one of these in, they did have the mounting hardware that I needed to do that. So, but other than that, just take the old one out, put the new one back in, do your steps in reverse, and it should be fairly easy. This took me about 15 minutes total to remove it and install the new one and test it out. It does come, like I said, with 2 new keys, so you'll probably have to get your doors rekeyed by a locksmith for a couple bucks. But other than that, if this helps you guys out with the issues that I was experiencing, please leave me a like down below, or if you have any questions or anything like that, I can try to answer them. Have a good one, guys.